We are seeing former First Lady Michelle Obama like we have never seen her before. Personal, candid, and calling out President Trump. In her revealing new memoir, she blames Trump for putting her family in danger by peddling his birther conspiracy. She writes, "What if someone with an unstable mind loaded a gun and drove to Washington? What if that person went looking for our girls? Donald Trump, with his loud and reckless innuendos, was putting my family's safety at risk, and for this, I'd never forgive him." Well, President Trump today was quick to respond.
And I guess she wrote a book. She got paid a lot of money to write a book. And they always insist that you come up with controversial. Well, I'll give you a little controversy back. I'll never forgive him for what he did to our United States military. By not funding it properly, it was depleted. Everything was old and tired. And I came in and I had to fix it.
Let me bring in CNN White House reporter Kate Bennett and political commentator Angela Rye. Ladies, good to see both of you. And Kate, that is not the only jab on Trump. Apparently in this book, she added that her, quote, her body buzzed with fury after hearing that Access Hollywood tape where then private citizen Trump bragged about grabbing women where. So we don't normally see First Ladies talk about presidents like this, Kate.
It is, I mean, that's very true. There's sort of this unspoken rule that you don't criticize a sitting president while you're currently president. Michelle Obama, of course, is not abiding by that. But even on the campaign trail, remember, she had a few speeches where she didn't mention Trump's name, but we all knew who she was talking about, when she said a president can't just pop off. And then she also said in a speech, we need an adult in the room. It was clear she was talking about Donald Trump, but she just didn't use his name because she was still First Lady. However, now she's free to use his name and she's talking about it, and clearly struck a chord with her. It was clearly something that affected her very deeply. And certainly she's authentic, and she sounds like she's very revealing in this new book. And her feelings about Donald Trump, I think, are something she's been wanting to discuss since the campaign and just hasn't had the opportunity to do so.
She also writes about her experience as the first African-American First Lady, writing, I was female, black, and strong, which to certain people translated only to angry. It was another damaging cliche, one that's been forever used to sweep minority women to the perimeter of every room. Angela, to hear Michelle Obama talking about that, what'd you think?
Well, I just have to give so much credit to who I call our forever First Lady, not just because I want them back, I do, candidly, keeping it all the way 100 on this Friday afternoon, but also because of what she embodies. She is this woman who is filled with so much grace and class, but she embodies the everyday working woman. There are students who, are in school right now who can relate to everything Michelle Obama talks about going to school. The women who are struggling to balance it all and figuring out if they can have it all, she relates to them. She talks about her own challenges with fertility. I've not tried to get pregnant yet, but I froze my eggs earlier this year. I relate, like, Michelle, girl, we love you for everything you represent, and thank you. And
let me toss that clip. And I froze mine 5 years ago, and amen to that. Thank goodness for modern technology. This is the former First Lady talking about her difficulties initially, trying to have a family.
I felt lost and alone, and I felt like I failed because I didn't know how common miscarriages were, because we don't talk about them. We had to do IVF. I know too many young couples who struggle and think that somehow there's something wrong with them. And I want them to know that Michelle and Barack Obama, who have a phenomenal marriage and who love each other, we work on our marriage and we get help with our marriage when we need it.
She didn't have to share any of that, and she did. Kate, has there been a First Lady that's been so open talking about that?
I mean, not in terms of that sort of accessibility, and I think that was always Michelle Obama's very strong suit, that she was relatable and she sort of made things she made you feel like she was your friend, not just First Lady. Jackie Kennedy, of course, when she was First Lady, gave birth to a baby that died within a short period afterwards, and of course the country understood that and knew about it because it happened while she was First Lady. But in terms of looking back and having a First Lady discuss marriage, IVF, getting pregnant, married, all these things, I think we're really seeing a modern day era First Lady, and that's really what Michelle Obama was. She sort of kicked off this new feeling accessible, relatable, authentic First Lady for many, many people.
Here's one more excerpt, Angela, this is for you. She wrote, "As soon as I allowed myself to feel anything for Barack, the feelings came rushing, a toppling blast of lust, gratitude, fulfillment, wonder." You know, I've heard so many people today saying, lust, you know, all right.
Why is the lust question for me, Brooke? What's that about?
You're welcome.
I know. You know what's so interesting is I love the way that she talks about her marriage with the president. I've been in rooms with her where she's like, "Nah, dude, you still gotta wash the dishes." Like, it's an amazing, again, very approachable, accessible way to just bring us into their lives, into their humanity. I think the thing that I love about this book is it's called Becoming, and it doesn't just feel like a revelation about who Michelle Obama is, but it feels also like a call to action for this country, even given where we are right now after this election. What are we becoming? What do we want to see? Florida, Georgia? What do we want to see out of the folks who took over the House? What does new leadership look like? What are we really going to become as a democracy? And so I'm just thankful that she released it right now at a time to challenge us to be our best selves.
Yep, she writes
to
about
hashtag
becoming
be best, to use another First Lady's
becoming
hashtag.
me, becoming us, and becoming more.
Yes.
Kate and Angela, ladies, thank you so much.
Thank
you. That was
you.
fun. Back to